good morning, beautiful people. It is Wednesday morning, 14th of December. I know Christmas is almost here with us, and welcome to Afama's Media. We're going to celebrate Christmas in style this year, right here on Afama's Media. We'll give you right content, good content for your Christmas so that you don't get bored. And we are coming to you live from Kitengela, this is in Kajiado County, and I am Christine Mutindi, your host. And I remember you can catch this conversation on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Afama's Media. On YouTube, Afama's Media. On Instagram, on Twitter at Afama's Media. On Instagram, Afamas_media. You can join in this conversation. And as I said before, we're going to be doing Christmas a little bit different this year. We're going to give you the right content, beautiful content, tell you how to eat healthy. We have so many programs right here that are going to keep you entertained all along. Now, from where I am today, it's quite a cold morning. As I was coming along, it was a little bit misty. And I was asking myself, how am I going to survive the day? But now I'm here and I want to warm you up. So let's warm up together. Get your coffee and we start this show. And this is Breakfast Show right here on Afama's Media. And of course, we just want to get right into traffic updates this morning. And we just want to see how is the traffic on your roads, where you're going from, if you're going to work, and if you're coming from work, how is the situation on the road? Please let me know. As I said before, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram. And remember, we are live on Facebook. So please make sure you leave a comment right there. Tell me, how's the weather on your end? How is the traffic? How are you feeling? Christmas is here. Have you saved up for Christmas? You know, that is the question that everyone is asking. And I know that even most of the places are overbooked. If you didn't book early, I'm sorry, but now you have to reschedule your Christmas plans. But please, as you do that, remember to stay tuned to Afama's Media. Now, just a quick look on our roads this morning, and I can see that the Expressway is looking green, and this means that there's a good movement. And mentioning the Expressway, I have the pleasure of saying that I enjoyed using the Expressway. That was last week on Friday. And it is amazing how we used 15 minutes from Lolongo to Westlands. Imagine if you were not using the Expressway, how long would you go? You'd stick on the road for 2 hours, for 3 hours. You get home, you're tired, and you're tired from work. But remember, we are here to give you the updates on how the road is looking like, and of course, giving you news on agriculture as well, and good content, entertainment all along. And the Expressway this morning is looking clear. I can see that Mombasa Road is holding up a little bit. Mombasa Road is jamming up. This is in sections. Kenyatta Avenue as well is jamming up. We have little movement. Moi Avenue is looking good, very clean. So that side is good as well. We have the roundabout. This is in Kijabe Street. It is looking good. But we have a lot of traffic in River Road. And this is from Gaborone Road all the way up to Accra Lane. So that side is jammed up this morning, and this is as you get to CBD. So it looks like everyone is going into work right now. So that side is looking a little bit jammed up. Haile Selassie is good. It is just a little bit of jam up on the roundabout. That is Haile Selassie Avenue. So at the roundabout, there's a little bit of traffic on that end. But otherwise, it is looking good and clean. As you approach Racecourse, and this is also on Haile Selassie Avenue, as you join up to Racecourse, it looks a little bit jammed up as well. And remember, this morning we're going to give you all the updates. This is from traffic, and as we look also at the newspaper, what is happening in our country this morning. And remember, we are coming in from a long weekend. So I know some of you are healing from the scars of long weekend. Some of us like sleeping, so of course you still have a hangover of sleeping. But wake up! It is time to start hustling. So work hard. It is time to go. And I was just looking again at the newspaper. Remember, they just concluded Jamhuri Day celebrations. That this was the 59th Jamhuri celebration, and it was the first that was presided by the fifth president, that is President William Ruto. And so many things were mentioned about agriculture. And of course, I am here to tell you a little bit about that. I know you know about that, but again, we're just going to look at that as we continue with the news on our newspapers. Again, there is a United Nations conference on biodiversity that is being held in Montreal, Canada. Montreal, Canada, and it is dubbed COP15. I'll tell you about all that as we just delve into the newspaper this morning. And now, from the things that were mentioned, and this is ranging from value addition, from the tree planting exercise, which one was catchy to you? Let me know on Facebook. We are live, so please, on the comment section, please let me know what are your thoughts on that. Do you think we can achieve that as a country? Are we ready for that? Remember, we said that we're going to have value addition, and this is from tea, coffee, avocado, and cotton. So you see, economy cannot rise without agriculture, and that is why we need to give so much to agriculture, because we cannot do without agriculture. If you see that the cotton, coffee, tea, and leather as well, they're going to contribute to raise the GDP to 20%, and this is by 2030. So you see, agriculture is the backbone of the economy, and that is what they say. Agriculture is the backbone of the economy. And now let's just start right into the newspaper. And today we're going to be looking at the Daily Nation, and we're going to see what is happening in our country. I'm just going to look at it. And first of all, we have to start with the COP15. As I was mentioning before, COP15 is an event that is being held in Montreal, Canada by the United Nations, and it is a conference about biodiversity. And now the aim of this event is and this is attended by delegates from about 190 countries. This is worldwide. And it is dubbed COP15 because of it is the 15th conference of parties. That is why it is called COP15. It is the 15th conference of the parties. And again, it is a convention on biological diversity, and Kenya is one of the countries that is attending this event that is being held in Canada. And they just want to do well. We just want to change the biodiversity, what is happening. And this is in discussion also about climate change. Yes, climate change, which has been a thorn in the flesh of many countries. So climate change has been at the forefront of every country's discussion, and this is one of the discussions that is being held in that event. And it is different from the 27th Conference of Parties that was held last month, that ended last month. So this is different, a little bit different from that. And while COP27 focused on climate change, COP15 is inclined towards the diversity of life on Earth and their connections to one another. The diversity of life on Earth and the connection to one another. So as you can see, this is quite a good conference, and it says that about 17% of the land and only 10% of marine areas are protected. So this means that for ecosystem to coexist, we need each other. So we have to protect our land, we have to protect marine life as well, so that we can exist well. Everything contributes to the ecosystem. And again, I'm taking you back just a little bit to the just concluded Jamhuri Day celebrations. Remember, the tagline or the theme of the event was Connect, Inspire, and Innovate. So in this line of in the spirit of innovation, we have good news for Muthurwa Market, as they are going to receive free Wi-Fi. So this is going to help in marketing as well as reporting abuse. And I know, and the reason I'm talking about it is because Mudura Market has so many farmers who are selling their produce there. So marketing your produce, getting new produce. So we have to go the innovation way. So this is a good move by the government, by the national government, to give free Wi-Fi to Mudura Market vendors. And we're still continuing with our dailies this morning, and on page 14 again we have Conmen target maize growers with fake deals in selling their produce. Now local leaders have advised farmers to be wary and release their produce after receiving payment in full. So this is just a warning to the farmers, so they ensure that they are not conned by the cartels that have been there, and this is especially in the North Rift region. And they want to sell their produce to avert possible losses following government plan to import 10 million bags of maize is exposing them to fraudsters. Now, in a hurry to sell their produce, these farmers from the North Rift region, they just want to sell their produce in a hurry because they don't want to be locked out by the 10 million importation of the bags once they hit the country, and then the market is going to be flocked. So they won't know where to sell their produce. That is why conmen have arisen and they are defrauding the farmers. Now, local leaders led by Uasin Gishu Governor Jonathan B. have advised these farmers to be a little bit wary and only to release their maize once they have received payment in full. These are just some of the stories that are making headline in our dailies this morning, and it is quite sad that people are waiting out there and working. They're waiting for something that is going to happen and take advantage of the situation to con unsuspecting locals. They have worked hard, so please be careful and ensure that you only release your maize when you have received your money. And these are just some of the stories. And again, we have farmers. They are crying out about the subsidized fertilizer. And they are saying that they have not yet received the fertilizer, and this is quite interesting. Just trying to remember that during the Jamhuri Day celebrations, the president said that he's going to ensure that the government is going to ensure that most farmers have access to subsidized fertilizer, and this is in a bid to increase crop yield, to have good, to close the gap, temporarily close the gap of lack of food by providing fertilizer so that farmers can have high productivity on the other end. So everything is good this morning. I'm happy because it is good news all around, and that is what we're here for, just giving you the good news as well. And now again, just a story again. China opens doors to 15 Kenyan avocado farms, and they have met the required export regulations, making Kenya's Africa leading avocado exporter. So it is good news on our end that we are the leading avocado exporter. This is very good news again. And now, just a week ago, we are having a discussion right here on a Farmers Media about Kenya imports and exports. And it was quite interesting right here. So Kenya being the leading avocado exporter, it is a good move. So this means that we have to ensure policies are put in place to ensure that all the exports are good, the farmers are getting their due. Because if they have avocado to export, then this means that they need to take care of their own needs. And this is from the farms up to taking care of their basic needs. The farms that give them the produce and their basic needs, because that is where they have their livelihood. So this is all good news that is in Kenya right now. And I'm just looking at the newspaper again. We are looking at it and continuing with the stories that are making headlines. And again, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock had a meeting with at Kilimo House. and it was about with a team of pyrethrum value chain players that are based in the UK. And this is in a bid to, they brought together, and they want to support local farmers. Support local farmers with affordable planting materials to improve pyrethrum planting. And pyrethrum is good because it is drought resistant and again disease resistant. So this is all good news. Good news, good news, good news. And I'm happy because we are only dealing with good news this morning, and that is what is exciting me this morning. So please let me know where you're watching us from and your comments on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, Instagram, and on Twitter. And we are quick to answer your questions. So yes, we will answer your questions as well as read out your comments right here on Breakfast Show. And I was still continuing with the newspaper review, and a little bit later on we will just check on the weather update. As I told you, on my end it is chilly this morning. I was coming to work and I was feeling cold. Just got into the office, took a quick cup of coffee, and I'm here. So we are warming each other up this morning with the good news and the stories that are making headlines in our dailies. And I have someone here who's asking, a friend of mine is asking here that Russian President Vladimir Putin, he sent a good wish message to Kenya as we were celebrating our Jamhuri. So they're asking, are the intentions real? I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Because I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, but I think he had a good move. He was just, his intention was good. I don't know. But some of us are saying that they looked through the eyes in the picture that was posted and they did not see good intention. And this is just one of the things. And we have land compensation also, because remember, land has been a critical issue when it comes to agriculture. So we have land issues in Isiolo, where land compensation, some of the farmers want to be compensated for the land that was used by the government. So yes, that is another thing that is happening in Kenya right now. And again, COP15, as I said before, COP15 and COP27, a little bit different. So this is about biodiversity. They just want to change the diversity. They want to show that we can coexist. So we need marine, we need bees, we need insects. So we don't have to go about cutting our trees and all that. We need to conserve our environment as well. So these are some of the stories that are making headlines in our dailies this morning. And now just looking again just a little bit at the weather, because we know that with agriculture we also move again with weather. And someone is asking me, when are we expecting the rains? In some areas it is raining right now. In some areas it is raining. We have in Malindi a little bit sunny again. It is sunny and little bit showers of rain as well. So it is not that bad. So just looking at some of the areas, I'm just going to pick a little bit of the areas and we see how the weather is doing. In Nairobi, it is going to be a little bit sunny and showers of rain as well. It is going to go as high as 23 degrees Celsius and lows of 15. So yeah, a little bit of that. In Kajiado County, just sunny intervals, going as high as 22 and as low as 15 as well. So yeah, that is why I told you it was a little bit misty in Kajiado County. In Kisumu City, sunny intervals as well. So not many areas are experiencing rain, but again, we have areas that have rain. So Kisumu City is going to be a little bit sunny. With maximum of 23, these are the highs. It is going to get as hot as 23 degrees Celsius and lows of 12 degrees Celsius. Eldoret, sunny intervals. Kakamega, sunny intervals. Marsabit, sunny intervals as well. Malindi, those who have gone for the holidays already, Malindi, showers of rain a little bit, just a little bit, and sunny intervals as well. It is going to go as high as 31 degrees Celsius and as low as 25 degrees Celsius. So yes, those are just some of the counties that have rain as well. So in your area, is it raining or not? Please let me know, because I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know where you're watching us from. Is it raining really? And those are just some of the stories. And I have a comment here from someone who's saying that the greeting from and the well wishes from Vladimir Putin, that is the president, is needs a lot of balance of thought, because we support the West and because of the West and the East Bloc. So yes, that is just their comment. And moving on, still on matters stories, we're just going to look at the stories making headlines: the weather, the traffic, what is happening on your road. Are you slowly moving or are you not moving? Are you stuck? And I remember I told you a story that I used the expressway. I had the pleasure of using the expressway. It was quite fast. So I don't know about you. Would you want to try that? It is fast. You don't have to stick on the road. You don't have to stay there. You use your phone, your board. Just please use the expressway, and as you drive along, listen to and watch us on a Farmers Media as we keep you entertained on telling you the stories making headlines. Now, I remember I mentioned something about land being the major source, or the main element in agriculture, and we have Masinde Muliro, University of Science and Technology, will expand. They will expand at the expense of a government agency. The president ordered the Ministry of Agriculture to surrender 16 acres of land, which is adjacent to the university, to offer more space for lecture rooms. And this is just again, good news. The Minister of Agriculture had that piece of land, and this is 16 acres of land. And so the president ordered that that piece of land be returned to the university, and this was being used for agricultural shows and all that. But now it is going to be returned to the university. I don't know what you think about that. And during the weekend, actually, I was discussing with someone, and I was telling them the importance of taking children to the agricultural shows. And this will help a child know, what do I want? Because sometimes we tell our children, please, I want you to expand, I want you to show me your interest. But again, we have to kind of expose our children, take them to events like the agricultural show. And I'm mentioning that story, I have just remembered that we need to also expose our children. And someone was telling me in the midst of the discussion, someone was saying that, but the agricultural shows are no longer there. And I was asking them, which world do you live in? I mean, who doesn't know that we still have the agricultural shows? I know when I was younger, my happiness was just going there and eating cotton candy and just climbing on. There was a boat thing that was going up and down. I loved that a lot. But again, who doesn't know? And as I grew up, I started realizing the importance of agriculture and the things that you see, and people who have innovated different innovations, different technology, and how they are implementing that. And I remember there was a time I went to such an event, and I got the pleasure of trying a dried mango, a dehydrated fruit. Mango that was dehydrated. So if you want to eat it, you just put it in water. It sucks up all the juices, and then you eat that mango. Very interesting. So yes, we need to also do the exposure. So agricultural shows are still here. They have not gone anywhere. And I was amazed that someone didn't know that they are still around. I mean, who doesn't know that they're still here? I mean, why ask? Do we still have them? because schools, I see schools even attending the same agricultural shows, and someone is asking, how come I have not seen them? They have been busy looking, searching for money, that they forgot we have agricultural shows that are still happening. And this is just some of the things that were happening in the long weekend. Yes, the long weekend, as we got to celebrate Kenya being a republic. Now, just again looking at these stories, we have uh, raising alarm. This is the World Health Organization raising an alarm for measles that is in the country. That is just one of the things that is happening as well. And those are just some of the stories that are making headlines. And now, uh, someone else here is saying that which rain are you talking about? Because in my area it is raining horses. Okay, so I I have heard about raining cats and dogs. So I just want to ask Florence, which horses are you talking about? I mean, if it's raining horses, then probably I won't want to come to your area. It is raining too much for that matter. So this means it is quite amount of rain. So it depends on there's different. This means that there's different areas that are experiencing rain. Others, it is sunny. From our area, it is a little bit misty. So yes, and when you go home for Christmas, make sure you go to the shamba and you're there planting. You don't just carry the food. Make sure you plant. Make sure you get in there and plant. And I have someone else here, and this is coming from Grace, who's saying, "Kulima sio ushamba." Okay, this is quite interesting because I don't know why does it have to be associated with Ushamba? I mean, how? You don't have to do that. As I told you, and as you heard from the speech of the president, agriculture is the backbone of the economy, because during that time he mentioned value addition that is going to increase the GDP, and we've had those discussions right here on a farmers media to show that agriculture contributes around 40% of the GDP. I mean, that is quite high, and feeding the farmers, and this is from the local farmers, small scale farmers, to those farmers who are doing farming in large scale as well. So it is a very, very, very big contributor to agriculture. So this shows that we need to embrace agriculture with two hands. Please make sure you embrace agriculture with two hands. We don't have to go around saying that agriculture is backwards, or agriculture is associated with something else. I mean, agriculture is the backbone of the economy, and uh, I'll tell you this story after the break of what I did in in my agriculture project in high school. I was not interested at that time, but I'll tell you the story. It is. I know of someone who's watching, and they're going to think, I know what you did. It is the same thing I did, but at that time, I did the confession later on. I confessed later on to what I did with my cabbage plantation. We had cabbage, and then later on we did maize. So during the maize planting, I was okay, but when it got to cabbage, that is where I think I just got tired, or sometimes being young and doing these things, you have different reasons or views of what you want to do. So yes, I'll tell you that story after the break. Not right now, but just after the break. And it is quite interesting. Florence, I know you know the story, and I see that you're watching us this morning. And now, just to mention aflatoxins. And this is a campaign that we are running concurrently with our markup. And did you know that aflatoxins can be found in groundnuts and extracts from groundnuts? Okay. aflatoxins, and this has been a problem with our product. And aflatoxins are the most potent carcinogens and are known to cause liver cancer in human beings and in animals as well. And the species infect a broad range of crops, peanuts, chili, and black pepper. So this is just a campaign that we are running to sensitize people on aflatoxin, the source of aflatoxin, and this is soil. Soil is the primary source. So this means when it gets to the seed, it is just the secondary source. But soil is the primary source of aflatoxins. And aflatoxins is severity. The severity of aflatoxin is found when drought is increased, when there's an increase of drought, when the produce is stored in high temperature, or high temperatures are there and high humidity. And when that occurs simultaneously, we have the aflatoxin effect on the soil. Now, to learn more about this campaign, because it is very vital for every farmer, to learn more about this campaign, you need to visit the Markup UNIDO website, and we will also be sharing some info on our website as well. And this is at www.afarmers.com, and this is a farmers with a Z. Okay, so you visit the Markup UNIDO website to learn more about aflatoxins, and we'll share more information. We'll play videos as well to sensitize you on aflatoxins, the effects, the causes, the source as well. And as we said, the primary source of aflatoxins is the soil. So yes, we'll be running that as well on our website, and that is www.afarmers.com, afarmers with a Z. And if you need also more information, you can also reach us on our social media platforms, and we will get to send you the link to the website and share more information, because we are out there to connect, learn, and grow. And by learning, aflatoxin is one of the ways that we learn. How do we preserve our produce? What is the source? How do we know? How do I know that my soil has aflatoxin? So before it reaches the plant, the seed, the maize, the primary source is the soil. And this was a new information for me as well. I didn't know that the primary source is soil, and I did not know that aflatoxin also affected peanuts, black pepper, and chili as well. I thought it was only maize, because I remember when when I'm at home and we are harvesting maize, my mother shows me the color of the maize, and she shows me this is bad, so we have to put it aside. I didn't know that the primary source is soil. So yes, that is why we're running this campaign. Please make sure you visit Markup UNIDO website as well as our website www.afarmers.com. And on that note, I would like to take a really short breather right here on Breakfast Show on our Farmers Media, but I will be back with more. And I'll tell you the story about my portion in high school when I planted maize and cabbage. I'll tell you after the short break. Yes, it is quite interesting what I did, but again, there was no option from what I'll tell you. But I'm going on a short break. I will be back. Stay here and stay tuned to our Farmers Media.
Food safety is everyone's responsibility, starting with the farmer. This means adhering to the correct pesticide recommendation for effective pest management. Apart from selling farm inputs aimed at increasing crop and livestock productivity, agro dealers advise farmers on how to use them responsibly.
Pesticides should be used in the right way. You buy the right pesticides, and if as a farmer you are not sure where to buy, at least you can contact your local county extension services who will be able to give you the right information on the type of pesticides that you need to buy based on the problem in the farm and how to actually mix it, or what we call dilution, and spray it, so that in the end we can all assure ourselves that the food that we are using or we are eating or we are going to harvest or grow are safe.
Agro dealers play a significant role in guaranteeing that farmers have access to some of the essential agricultural inputs that contribute to boosting agricultural productivity in a safe and environmentally sensitive manner.
Habari yako? Nzuri sana mama. Naendelea salama? Kwa salama sisi. Sasa mimi niko na shida. I have some diseased crops.
As an agrovet, when attending to farmers, ensure you ask the farmer as many questions as possible to correctly identify the farmer's problem. Most agro dealers are familiar with farming inputs and can therefore recommend a particular pesticide for a problem that a farmer may be facing. However, it is important for agro dealers to ensure that they get as much information as possible from a farmer before recommending a specific pesticide. By asking for background information like what kind of crop is involved, what kind of pest damage, what is the physical appearance of the pest, when and what kind of measures has the farmer already taken. Questions will inform the agro dealer on the nature and severity of the problem and the need for intervention to ensure that the recommendation of pesticide is effective.
Most farmers, I would say that they may not understand or they may not be able to read the labels. So this is the responsibility of the agrovet attendant to read the label and to interpret to the farmer, because the label has different instructions. It has instructions like the active ingredient of that pesticide. It has the mode of action of that pesticide. It has the rate of application of that pesticide. It has pre-harvest and pre-harvest interval of that pesticide. So if this information is not shared with the farmer will end up using the pesticide in the wrong way and also on the wrong crop.
Improper use of pesticides gives rise to potential health risks to both farmers, consumers, and is a risk to the environment. Make a pesticide recommendation based on pesticide efficacy and good farm practices as opposed to purely business reasons. Agrovets are businesses and should be considered as such. However, dealers should also beware that they have a duty towards the farmer and should endeavor to be truthful and trustworthy.
Dawa bora, mazao bora. What you plant is what you reap. And if from the onset dawa si bora, then definitely mazao si bora, because mazao is dependent on dawa. If we apply a good dawa, we are sure of good mazao and bump up harvest.
Advice on the kind of protective equipment to use when handling and storing pesticides to minimize exposure. As an agro dealer who is well versed with the proper use of pesticides, you should ensure that a farmer is aware of the safety procedures to follow when using a certain pesticide. Advise farmers on other IPM practices such as improved seed, fertility management, among other practices, to reduce reliance on pesticides.
Integrated pest management, that is using all the methods that there are to ensure that you control your pest. You use all the tools that you have, whether they happen to be physical, like you are blocking the pest or the disease from coming to your farm. Like you can have barriers. Cultural ones, again, are also about excluding the pest or the disease. The other one is what we call biological. Amazingly, there are certain live organisms that feed on other live organisms. So in the biological control, you have a situation where an insect could be eating another insect. So you have the insect which is a good one, we call it a farmer's friend, or you have an insect which is the farmer's enemy, which is the pest. So basically you cause the farmer's friend to eat the enemy.
Other IPM techniques include crop rotation, intercropping, use of adequate fertilizer, and cultivation techniques. Remember, proper usage of pesticides increases yields and market access for your produce. Food safety is everyone's responsibility, starting with the farmer. Dawa bora, mazao bora.
Welcome back to A Farmer's Media, where we connect, learn, and grow. And now I remember, before we went for the break, I promised you a story. So here it goes. When I was in high school, we had a project. This was in agriculture. And we were supposed to, everyone had a portion, because people used to choose if you want to do agriculture, if you want to do home science. So I was in agriculture. And we had portions for farming, and our school had cows, dairy cows. So when people used to go and irrigate their plants, I was not around. I cannot tell you what I was doing because I also don't know. And there was progress. So the teacher used to come and check for the progress, how the plants are doing, and then grade them. Because at the end of every portion, there was a tag name. So where my name was, I noticed that my plants were not growing. So I decided I'm going to take the dairy cows. They were not being, they were grazed around the area. So I took one and I brought it. It ate my plants. I made sure it ate my plants. And I tied it. I held it with the rope. So nikashika kamba, and I made sure that it pooped around that area. So that is evidence, you see. So I made sure that there was evidence. So I had to make sure that it pooped right there. So after that, I waited for the time to come. And then I went to the teacher, my agriculture teacher, in the staff room, and I was crying. I was really crying. And I told the teacher that the cow has eaten my farm. But, a disclaimer, I was young. So I made sure it didn't eat mine alone. It had to eat some of my classmates also, a little bit. So one bite, then I beat it, it comes back, another area. So yes, that is what I did. And so the teacher came and he was like, what happened? I told him I was coming to water my plants, so then this happened. And so he was like, no. You have to redo it again. In as much as it's going to take time, you have to plant again. So I was there, I was just thinking, okay, by the time it grows to that age, because we used to be graded on that, there was a little bit of marks from the farming and from classwork. So I told the teacher, okay, I will redo it again. So this time, because my plan failed, I had to really work hard, because now I have tried. And do you know what that teacher told me? He told me, in fact, hata hiyo ng'ombe imefanya vizuri, because it has left you manure. So you have to use the manure to plant again. So I was given other seeds, and he told me that he was going to mark mine according to the progression. So my aim was, I am graded because the cow has eaten my farm. But you see, it failed. And as I look back at it now, I realize that shortcut is no way. It didn't work for me then, so it's not going to work for me now. And that is a story. I wanted to get marks from where I didn't, because I was lazy. I was literally lazy in farming. I didn't like farming because I thought at home I was farming. Then I come to school and I'm farming again. So yeah, I was lazy. But you see, my laziness cost me my mark. So I had I had I had to redo it again. Imagine. I had to start over with the manure now that the cow had left. And I was there. Imagine now a whole me nimeshikilia kamba waiting for the cow. Waiting for the cow so that I could go and tell the teacher, imagine mwalimu, my farm has been eaten. So yeah, that's the story. And as I don't know, I just got nostalgic as we were doing the newspaper review right here. So I got nostalgic and I remembered that day what I did. But now I want us to switch gears a little bit, and I want us to look at the trending agricultural topics, or the trends, the new trends in agriculture. Of course, there's innovation, there is robotics. Hey, that day, I wish we had robotics that day when I was farming. I really wish we had robotics. I'll just take the robot. Please farm this one. And make sure, how are they given instructions? No, I wouldn't tell it that way. It has to take it in binary digits. So yes, but I'll make sure I use the robot to do the farming. I'll just come to check and maybe watering, doing the irrigation, just doing the little bit, the lighter job. I take the lighter tasks, then the robot does the farming. Yeah, so that is what I want us to look at right now. And this is the new trends in agriculture. Internet of Things. Yeah, that is the first one. Internet of Things. And this is a little bit different from our traditional methods of planting, and it is using sensors to collect data. And this is in greenhouses, in the farms. Imagine everything is being simplified by technology. A new trend in things, new trends in agriculture, Internet of Things, first one, and new irrigation systems to utilize the sensors, and they automate water delivery to crops. So imagine if you have, let's say, red apple farming, a farm that you're doing red apples, and right now red apples in Kenya, red apples in Kenya right now are the bomb, if that is the right word to say, the bomb. Yes, the market is high up there, they're really good, and so the demand is so high. So imagine if you have that, you have the IoT sensors, and that is, this is the Internet of Things. Internet of Things sensors, they automate water delivery to your plants, and they take data from the cloud, not only from the plants, they also take data of the environment. I love this. I mean, this is so good. Imagine using technology to do farming. So we're using the traditional method. We're not doing the traditional methods. You know that one where you used to, like, I remember when I was young. Today I'm getting nostalgic. I don't know. I don't know why. Remember that time when I was young, and my dad used to go out, and then he looks at the clouds and he says, leo kutanyesha. And then in the evening it rains. So as I was growing up, I knew, my dad is like the Kenya Meteorological Department. He knows when it's going to rain, Then later on, I go to school and I find out that he just used to look at the clouds. If they are darker and they are gray, then that means it's going to rain. So right now, I can do the same. And you can actually feel the smell. And I really, really love the smell of rain. Once it rains, the smell of soil. When it rains, I feel like eating that soil. It has a really nice smell. It appeals to me. It is calling me. The soil is calling me. Please come and eat me. You get? That smell is amazing. So yeah, I didn't know. I thought he was from the meteorological department. Little did I know he was just looking at the clouds. So imagine if you have the Internet of Things sensors. And the reason they're being called the Internet of Things is because they take the data and they store the data automatically. Like it is, the sensors take the data and they store it. So all you have to do is just go back and check. Is the data stored? Hey, this is just on another level. I mean, imagine how excited I am about the sensors. They store data. They take data. This is from the clouds, from the environment, from the plants, and how the plants are doing. And they automate water to the plants. So if you're supposed to water at 12, at 1, you don't have to go there with your jerry can. You're doing the watering. These sensors, they automate that. So they activate the irrigation sprinklers. So the irrigation sprinklers now, once they receive the data also, they let out the water. If it is for 15 minutes, if it is for 10 minutes, your plants are watered. Imagine that. I'm there with just my phone. I'm checking the data on my tablet. I don't have to go there. And they also give you the soil moisture. Remember the week we were celebrating Soil Week, we were celebrating World Soil Day. So the whole week we were doing, that was actually last week. So we were doing soil pollution, soil regeneration, Now imagine this IoT sensors can give you the soil moisture. So you know when it is the right time to plant, you know when it is the right time to do this and that. This is just amazing. And these are just some of the trends that we are discussing right here. And this is our second segment of the show. So I hope you're warming up. I have already warmed up by the idea of using the IoT sensors. I mean, technology. Thank you, technology, for coming. And these are just some of the things. And the second thing we just look at, and in the trends, is the agricultural robotics. This means shortage of labor. This is for the farmers. And this is amplified in the case of large field operations. So if someone is doing large-scale farming, then this means that they can use the robotics. So they assist the farmer in fruit picking. They assist the farmer in harvesting, in planting, in transplanting, and in spraying. Oh, Lord. And in also seeding and weeding. Imagine you don't have to do the weeding. The robot is there. How amazing. I mean, are you feeling the excitement? I hope you are. And remember, our social media platform is always ready for you. On Facebook, A Farmers Media. On YouTube, at A Farmers Media. And on Twitter, at A Farmers Media. On YouTube, A Farmers Media. On Facebook, A Farmers Media. On Twitter, at A Farmers Media. And on Instagram, A Farmers_media. Please, I want to know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on artificial intelligence that is being now used on our farms? I know someone might be skeptical, but from what I am seeing and reading, and I am imagining what I could have done with the artificial intelligence, I'm having ideas. Ideas are just coming in as much as I'm being nostalgic. In as much as I'm being nostalgic about that story with my farm in high school. And imagine it was a small portion. I wonder, looking back now, I ask myself, why didn't I just farm it? I mean, why go through the hassle of bringing the cow to eat my plantation, and then the teacher tells me to go back again and do it? But it is what it is. That is what they say. But back to the artificial intelligence. So the robotics, they help you in weeding, seeding, harvesting, spraying of pesticides to your plants. Imagine. And this is just smart agricultural machines. So they just have to receive the orders and they do that. So this means that most of the heavy lifting, you're not going to be doing the heavy lifting as a farmer. You just need to oversee how the robots are doing. And they also, the good thing is, the advantage here is they reduce, they prevent human-induced errors and provide convenience through automation. So they are convenient. They are a little bit convenient as opposed to human beings. So they provide convenience and errors that can be associated with human activities on our farms. I mean, interesting. And again, let's look at the third one, artificial intelligence. And this is incorporating artificial intelligence and provide farmers with real-time insights. Now, real-time insights in other field conditions allows the farmers to be proactive. And it is giving insight on the forecast. This is the weather forecast. And I remember when we were starting the show, someone was asking me, when do we expect the rain? Or some areas are raining, others are not raining. So if you're using artificial intelligence and you're a farmer, you know when it is going to rain and when it is going to be a little bit dry. So this allows you the time to know when you're going to go fruit picking or weeding. This everything here is interesting. I don't know about you. Would you like to do that? Would you like to use these new trends in agriculture? And when I mean new trends, I mean robotics. This is the smart robotics that are used in agriculture. We have the Internet of Things sensors. Remember the one that I mentioned earlier on, the IoT sensors. They give you the soil moisture. They give you data on the clouds as well, the atmosphere, your plants, and they automate the time that you're supposed to water your plants. Imagine that. And all these things, you get to learn them only on a farmer's media. So if you're not here, I don't know where you are. So please, like our page on Facebook, on YouTube, share that video, share the link. Please, do not be mean with this information, because I am giving it to you as I get it. I mean, it's quite interesting. So please, if you're not here, I don't know where you are, because we're already connecting, we are learning, and we're growing. So you see, even our tagline has artificial intelligence in it. Connection, innovation, connection. We're connecting, we're learning. So yeah, please make sure that you're here. If you're not here, I don't know where you are. Find a place where you have to be. But please share that link as we get to do that. Now, artificial intelligence also provides easy access to finance to farmers. So agriculture goes hand in hand with money. You need to get the finances. So artificial intelligence allows that as well. For example, this is just a quick one. You harvest quality vision in recent agri-tech innovation that scans and determines the quality and the quantity of fruits and vegetables. So you don't have to wait for someone else to do that for you. The artificial intelligence gives you the quantity and the quality of your products. Producer, can I end the show? I mean, I just need to go and look for this one. I mean, if it's giving me all this, if it's giving me the quantity, remember from the time I started planting, it gave me the soil moisture. It gave me the time that I'm supposed to be using to spraying the plant. It is giving me the time to even water my plant. It is giving me the quantity and the quality of my product. So by the time I take my product to the market, I already know the quantity, I know the quality, because it has given me all this from the beginning. So yes, that is why I'm asking if you would want to use smart agriculture, the smart robots, the artificial intelligence, would you want to use it? Please give me an answer on our Facebook page, on the comment section. I'll get to read all the answers right here. Please, please, please give me the answers. Give me the answers. I want the answers as we continue. I just want them, because I want to pick your brain on this. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your ideas. Would you be open to this? And again, is it available for us in Kenya? If it is not, would you want to do that? Would you want to maybe get it and use it? Yeah? Again, we have drones. I have all this information for you this morning. We have drones. So now, the drones increase farm productivity. And they save the cost. It is challenging, yes, but they save the cost. They help farmers overcome the hassle in an effective way. So the drones collect raw data, which translates into useful information for farm monitoring. Remember the sensors we were talking about. So the sensors incorporated with the drones, they help you give information. And the data optimizes the application of fertilizer, water, seeds, pesticides. And they they drive along precision farming. And this reminds me, on the week that we were talking about soil, and that is last week, remember we also discussed about precision farming. So yeah, right here, only on a Farmers Media, this is where you get it. I mean, this is where you get it. We just tell you the truth. We just tell you what works, what doesn't work. It is for you to choose. You know, I mean, but of course you have to choose, you have to really look at it, because what we're giving you is good. It is good, downright good. Imagine the drone picks raw data and then it gives you the option. What type of fertilizer are you going to use? The amount of fertilizer. So this means you also save your soil. You don't overuse the fertilizer. But on that, you also make sure that you use the fertilizer that is supposed to be used. If you're planting probably the red apples, make sure you use the right one. Now, the drones fly over the fields to capture images that range from simple visible light photographs to multispectral imagery, which helps in the crop, soil, and field analysis. All this is done by a drone. All this is done by a drone. So this is quite interesting. Now, the only challenge that might happen with a drone is maybe when it is too cloudy. When it is too cloudy, it might not get the right image. But again, remember, it is giving you precision farming. We talked about it, precision farming. It is giving you the right data, taking the raw data and turning it into application. The data optimizes the application of fertilizer. So it translates it into useful information, picking the raw data and translating it into useful information. So this means that as a small-scale farmer, you will be able to understand the data because the drone has already picked the data and translated it into useful information. So if it gets to you, it is getting to you in the sense of use more fertilizer. You need to use to water, irrigate the crops a little bit more. I mean, I'm loving it. I am loving it. I am loving all this. And now precision agriculture. Precision agriculture. And this is the use of eco-friendly methods and inputs which have minimal or negative, let's say that, minimal effects to the environment. And this is the impact to the environment as well. And this allows us, it gives us the exact amount of input. And the exact amount of inputs, they start with water, pesticides, fertilizers. And this include, they improve the crop, the quality of the crop, and the productivity. So you see, if you're using the exact amount of, the exact input of pesticides and fertilizers in your plants, then this means that you'll have good quality product, and this is good quality fruits or seeds. If it is maize, it is good quality. I mean, and this is a startup, and this is being used in developing nations that are really getting into agriculture. And I remember there's a day we mentioned that we have the raw materials, that is in Africa. Africa at large, we have the raw materials, so we just need to outsource the machinery from other countries like Canada, China. We need to outsource that because this, I am loving it. Imagine increasing the quantity of your coffee by just using precision agriculture, using the right input of water, the right input of pesticide, the right input of fertilizer on your soil, and the IoT sensor that gives you the data on the soil moisture. You just have to carry a seat, the one that has a cup holder. Yeah, so you just need to take that, and you have your tablet, so you're checking everything on your farm, and you're sitting down. So it does all the hard work, but again, you have to be there to monitor. You have to be there to get the precision data. You have to use the information well, because you might get the useful information, but use it the wrong way. So once you get the information, are you using it right? And that is why I'm asking, what is your opinion? Would you want to apply the smart robotics, the drones, the IoT sensors on your farm for precision agriculture? Because remember, the sensors, this is just a culmination. This is a culmination of every event. From the IoT sensor to the drone to the smart robotic drone and the robotics as well. So they culminate to precision agriculture. So everything is culminating. They're giving you something that you would have done probably in 1 year. So they're also reducing the time because they're giving you the right things. In this sense, you're preserving the soil, you're getting good quality product, you're getting good quantity. I love it. Please tell me, would you want to include the smart robotics, the IoT sensors in your garden, in your farm? Okay, please tell me. And now, still looking at these trends, because we're looking at the agricultural trends, the new trends in agriculture. What is new? What is changing? What is happening? Yeah, because we connect, learn, and grow. So we are growing together and learning about this. Now, we have agricultural biotechnology. And this is a lot of crop yield gets wasted due to pests and plant diseases. Although the agrochemicals are utilized in the same fields that we have the wastage. Now, they are not the best solution when it comes to sustainability. On the other hand, we have the application of biotechnology. And this helps in improving the quality of crops and livestock as well. Not only on crops, it is also going to improve the quality of livestock, the quality of your dairy cows, the quality of your poultry, yeah, the quality of your pigs, the quality of the sheep also. So this works hand in hand. And we have the scientific techniques. Now I know now this is like the elephant in the room, yeah? This is the elephant in the room because now we get into breeding. And once we get into breeding, we have hybridization, we have genetic engineering, we have tissue culture, facilitate, and identification of better traits in plants. And now, once we get to breeding, let me also give you another one. And this is an insight. On Friday last week, we got to visit. Yes, it is the excitement I'm feeling. Yeah. So last week on Friday, we got to visit the Calro Open Field Day. And we got to learn about the breeding that I'm telling you about. So this is identifying the better traits in other plants. And this was mainly in cassava plantation. And remember, cassava does so well in semi-arid and arid areas. So now, if the plant breeding, you find a better characteristic in one plant, so you take it and it does so well for the arid areas. So this means that it is going to solve the problem of flour, the problem of food. So in in the aim of, or in the goal and the objective of attaining food security in Kenya, this is what is happening. Yeah, and this is quite interesting because you could see, I mean, I saw the cassava and it was so huge. I literally thought it was someone lying on the ground. To my surprise, it is cassava. Yeah. To my surprise, it is cassava. And we talked to the people who are doing the research, and they explained to us the importance of breeding and why it is helping us. We have different breeds, so you can take this and they just take the characteristics, and this is what I was just telling you about, and this is agriculture biotechnology. I mean, if it is going to help us get more food, more crop, so that means even if you have a problem with unga, you can just get it from cassava. You just grind the cassava, and as long as you ensure better storage of the crop as well. You cannot store it haphazardly and then expect it will give you a good produce as well, or good flour, or it is going to stay that long. You have to ensure that you use the right preservative methods. Yes, that is the word I was looking for. The right preservative methods. Yeah. So it is interesting that this is one of the trends that are there right now, the trending, the new trends in agriculture, the smart trends in agriculture, the use of innovation, the use of smart robotics, all of this in attaining food security. I mean, as I said, I will keep repeating, if you're not here, I don't know where you are. I mean, you have to be here. Where else would you rather be? Where else? Yeah, where else? I mean, and this is quite interesting because in as much as people misunderstand breeding, it is good for us because you get a plant, and the question they ask you when you're going to buy the seed for plantation is, where are you going to plant it? So you advised more on that. So imagine that. And this is just in cassava. So this is being done already. It is here with us, and it is a trend. And that is why it is exciting me so far. My excitement is up here. It is on another level this morning. Yeah? And I just want to know, with all this that we're discussing, with the smart trends, with everything that we're saying, the question I'm asking right now is, would you want to include the sensors, the smart robots, agriculture biotechnology, precision agriculture? Would you want to increase that or include that in your current farming methods to get better yield? Would you want to do that? Would you? Please let me know on Facebook, A Farmers Media, on YouTube, A Farmers Media, on Instagram, A Farmers_media, and on Twitter at A Farmers Media. Please let me know. I'll get to read. I'll sample them right here. And of course, continuing. Remember, we started from IoT sensors. We went to the smart robotics. We went to precision agriculture. We went to drones. Yeah, we went to drones. And then we went to agricultural biotechnology. Now we are at big data and analytics. Big data, let me take that up again. Big data and analytics. Now, this is taking data every day from your farm and transforming the same data into actionable insights. Now, actionable insights is what is the crop, statistics of the crop area, production, land use, irrigation, agricultural price.